Before pottage and porridge, peasants often made portable cakes from mashed beans and barley flour. Vendors fried or baked these thick patties over coals, serving them with a drizzle of vinegar or garlic oil. Packed with protein and easy to carry, these travel cakes were an early version of the veggie patty. They could last for days without spoiling, perfect for workers, travellers, and soldiers on the move. Fried foods were medieval favourites. Onion and leek fritters were quick, cheap, and delicious. Made from ground barley or rye flour and fried crisp in animal fat. They were a noisy, fragrant street snack, eaten hot with a pinch of salt or vinegar, making them one of the earliest forms of fried fast food. While nobles dined on fine cuts, peasants took what was left: heart, liver, or lung. Vendors grilled these offal skewers over open flames, the smoky scent drawing hungry workers from every corner. This cheap, high-protein food became a street staple in cities like London and Bruges, proving that nothing went to waste. These small, sweet treats were made from crushed nuts, oats and honey, pressed into chewy cakes. Vendors sold them at markets and festivals to travellers and children. They were considered a luxury among peasants, an early energy bar that blended sweetness and sustenance in a bite-sized snack. Eels were everywhere, from rivers to royal kitchens. Street vendors baked eel-filled pastries seasoned with herbs and onions, selling them hot to passers-by. They were rich, oily, and surprisingly affordable. Eel pies were so popular that some English towns became famous for them, especially along the Thames. For those who couldn't afford meat, this vegetable stew was served in hollowed loaves of bread. The bread soaked up the hot broth, turning into an edible bowl. It was warm, filling, and could be eaten entirely. A clever no-waste meal for workers and travellers alike. A winter classic, roasted chestnuts were sold straight from the pan. Their warm, nutty scent filled city squares and market alleys. Cheap, comforting and portable, they were one of the few snacks enjoyed by rich and poor alike. A timeless street food that still exists today. Salted fish was a medieval staple, and small hand pies filled with minced herring or cod were a popular tavern and street snack. Mixed with mustard, onions or herbs, these portable pies were perfect for dock workers and travellers on the road. A thrifty creation, leftover stew cooled and solidified, then cut into blocks and skewered. Vendors reheated them over coals, turning yesterday's meal into a chewy, savoury street snack. It was an odd but practical way to stretch food supplies and minimise waste. A favourite among tavern goers, these were made by soaking old bread in ale, mixing it with fruit, spices and eggs, then frying it into golden balls. Sweet, boozy and hearty, they were often sold late at night to people leaving taverns. The medieval version of a street-side night snack.